Verse 8 says, "Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing so that it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians." This is interesting. The law of the Medes and the Persians was special, and that's why Yahweh pretty much waited for this story until the Medes and the Persians came into the picture in history, like in other times, like in the book of Esther, where this is also used to show that whatever Yahweh said must fulfill, and that's it. All his words come to fulfillment. None of them come empty back to him. That's why they are like the bees, because the bee, when she's pretty much stings someone, that is death for them. So, well, I will have to explain in Hebrew. Dabar is related to the Hebrew word for bee. So just like the words of Yahweh, Devarim, they get their fulfillment after they come out of his mouth by the word, which is Yahushua HaMashiach. Devorim, which are the bees, they also go to do their job, and if they have to give their life, meaning fulfillment to the protection of the queen, in that case the Ruach HaKodesh, then when they fulfill that, that is their end for the bees, just like the words of Yahweh. So Devarim, Devorim in Hebrew are very close because of that and many other reasons. That's why the word of Yahweh, the words of Yahweh are like the honey and many other things. So in this case, the fact that it's saying establish a decree and sign the writing so that it cannot be changed, just like the word of Yahweh cannot be changed, and Yahushua himself said that everything will pass but his words won't. Everything will be fulfilled. Every single letter, even the smallest, which is the Yud, and the crowns above those letters, they will all be fulfilled. So there is nothing that Yahweh said that won't be fulfilled. So much so that Yahushua came and it was written that he had to die, so he had to die, even though at that time when it was about the moment for him to die, he asked Yahweh if that could be taken away, if there was a possibility for that not to happen. But it had to happen because all his words find fulfillment. In the law of the Persians and the Medes, when the king would use his ring to sign a decree, that decree could not be changed at all. Which is amazing when it comes to men, because men do make mistakes, as in this case, which he regretted having signed that decree. But that goes to, obviously Yahweh does not make mistakes, but he does hurt as a father when he saw his son die. But everything was written because everything had to be fulfilled. And among all those things that had to be fulfilled, the fall of Satan and the decree that will condemn him, which is through the death of Mashiach. So the death of Mashiach had to happen so that Satan could be taken away. Pretty much the accusation against humanity. So the death of Mashiach had to happen, the pain in Yahweh had to happen in order for humanity to be saved, for Satan to be taken away. And Satan had a lot to do with the interpretation of the letter, had a lot to do with the letter of the law. That's why he is the accuser. That's why he uses the scriptures to tempt, like he did with Mashiach. But Mashiach used the scriptures better and answered and pretty much defeated, well, the enemy, what he was trying to do. So, in Persia, if he would sign something, that could not be changed. That is as with the scriptures. Yahweh wrote everything and it cannot be changed. Even if the enemy used the letter to try and fool Yahweh so that he would allow his child, in this case Mashiach, to die. So it is very interesting, and there's a lot that could be said regarding that. However, we would have to read like Genesis and a bunch of other things to explain in a deeper way everything that I am trying to explain here. And I don't think in the English channel we have enough information regarding this subject, so I don't want to confuse anybody. But the point is that just like the Persians and the Medes had this law in which nothing could be changed from what was written, so is the scriptures. Well, so are the scriptures. And just like the governors tried to fool Darius, the king, in order to kill Daniel, so did the angels through the letter were trying to manipulate the Almighty into doing something against his people and against Messiah. So it is interesting how everything starts going down, how we see the angels, like the governors, trying to influence the king, Yahweh, with the letter, which cannot be changed, the scriptures, the Torah, which was used by the accuser also. But now is being used to accuse Daniel. Just like the last is coming, Yahushua came and fulfilled the Torah. So the Pharisees twisted the Torah in order to accuse him. But Yahushua fulfilled the Torah by the letter, to the letter, everything. Now the last comes to fulfill it spiritually, through the Spirit of truth that shows how to really fulfill the Torah. So by fulfilling the true Torah, those who are of the letter will come against him and use the letter to kill him. So that's pretty much what is happening here. It's interesting that the letter, the last letter of the alphabet, is a cross. So they actually literally used a letter to kill Mashiach. They used the letter to kill the Messiah by using a cross, but because the cross is the last letter of the alphabet. So it is amazing how it was fulfilled. I hope that was understood. Now, O king, established the decree and signed the writing so that it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which does not alter, like the Torah. Therefore, King Darius signed the written decree. So he was deceived into doing so. When it comes to obviously Yahweh, he cannot be deceived. But the angels, like Lucifer, he thinks that he can actually be like the Almighty. Therefore, he thinks that he may be smarter and be able to use the letter against his plan.